And welcome back to the channel. On this video I want to talk about e-bike batteries, like the one you see right there and the one you see right there. And I am going to be riding, as you see right there, the Lyric Graffiti. This is the original Lyric Graffiti. As you saw there, dual batteries on this one. And I want to talk about batteries because I get lots of questions on battery range, and I get asked a lot about how far can you go on an e-bike range wise, and it's a really good question because there's no real for sure answer. There's a lot of things that come into play, including the terrain, the weight of the rider or riders, the weight of the bike itself, what cargo you're carrying on the bike will make a difference. And the size of the battery. So I'll just use this as an example, and there's other factors too, but this bike has two 17.5 amp hour batteries, which is a total of 35 amp hours, 52 volt. And the other thing would be if you're pedaling or throttling, and how much are you doing of each one. If you're exclusively pedaling, then it would depend too on your pedal assist level. So it's all, mix all this up, you know, and that's why you get all these different numbers. There'd be no true number, but I'd say for the most part you're probably going to get anywhere from 20 miles to 70 miles, I would say, just a general. That kind of covers a big area, I know, but my formula is this. Depending on which bike I ride, like the one I'm riding right now, the original Lyric Graffiti, I don't pedal this bike. And so I'm strictly throttling it, but I also don't full throttle the bike all the time. I'm not going full speed ahead, you know. I'm just probably generally riding a lot in the 20 miles per hour range, actually 25, and then occasionally I'll go up to 35 depending on the situation where I'm riding, and if I'm getting through a intersection or something like that, or need to get away from a situation really quickly, I will accelerate. But yeah, all of those things will come into play, different factors. And another one would be how much you're on and off the throttle. It's kind of like gas pedal on your car. Are you one that is constantly taking your foot on and off the gas pedal? Are you giving it gas, taking your foot off? It's like some folks that ride the brakes. That is going to eat up more battery power if you're doing that. If you're going to ride and you want to maximize everything, I would say put it on the lowest pedal assist level that you can comfortably ride, and I would try to keep a nice steady ride, you know, like a consistent steady speed, and that's going to maximize too the amount of distance or range you're going to get. If you, the tricky part is when you get a new bike and you're not really sure what range. They'll give you a range, right? And they'll say 80 miles, for example. Well, they're going to give you that 80 miles under the best of conditions and using the lowest power pedal assist level. So And I don't even know exactly how they truly test these bikes for range, whether they have any load on there at all, or if they're just, exactly, I don't know how they do it. But the best thing I would suggest would be, if you're a new rider, and you just get your bike and you're wondering, well, how far can I go? I would do short distances at first, get used to the bike, and then get used to, like, keep an eye on your battery gauge there, and get used to how far you're going to know, and then you can gradually get a pretty good idea of how far you can go. Having dual batteries on this bike, for example, is great because you have the second battery. As long as you go out with your batteries full when you leave, I have that second battery as a backup for me. That's going to be where if I kill the one battery, I still have the others. So if I know that I have that second battery behind me in reserve, then I can buy this truck here. Then I can know to let that battery go down, but not quite all the way if I want to make it home. So a little bit before it gets completely down, and then start my journey back, and know I'll have enough with the second battery to get back home. So that's one of the good things about having two batteries. Now, if you have the batteries blended, then no, it's not going to work that way, because you're already using both batteries at the same time. It's going to take equal amounts from both batteries. So, but yeah, range anxiety is a big deal. And if you're throttling only, my thoughts on that, or conclusions on that from what I've experienced myself, is that for every amp hour you have a battery, 1 mile. That's if you throttle only, but that's not throttling full bore, pinning the throttle right to the max. Nothing like that. It's just riding like regular, I call it average, like I am right now. You should at least get 1 mile per amp hour. So that's the way I look at it. And then I would say probably if you are pedaling, you're probably going to double that and get 2 miles per amp hour. But don't quote me on that, because every bike and every situation is different. You kind of got to experience it yourself. Get used to your bike, and then get to know what your bike can do. So that's what I would suggest. There's no real exact formula. But it is a great topic. And batteries, I should let you know that if you're getting into the e-bike world and you don't know much about costs and all that, or wonder sometimes why e-bikes are so expensive, well, I can tell you the one part on the e-bike or component that's going to cost or worth the most is the battery. The battery is generally going to be about pretty close to or right around 40% of the value of your bike, give or take a little bit there, but somewhere close to that. So if you have a $2,000 e-bike, you can bet your battery is probably going to be worth $800 or pretty close. And yeah, so the batteries are an expensive part for sure of your bike. Alright, well that's going to do it for this video. I thought I would touch on a topic that I get asked quite a bit about. Electric bike battery range. And if you are one that's going to travel quite a bit on your bike, long distance riding more, I'm saying long distance, you know, more than 20 miles, 25 miles, then I would suggest getting a second battery, or if you have the option to get a larger battery, to go ahead and do that. Because a lot of times what will happen is bike companies will offer you a better deal. If you buy a second battery, they'll usually offer you a good deal on a second battery, and sometimes you'll even get lucky and they'll throw in a second battery, but not a lot. A lot of times they'll knock off half the price of the second battery. So yeah, if you are worried at all about range, then I would say, yeah, you might want to go for a second battery or get the larger battery if there's an option for a larger battery. That's going to do it for this video today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to comment on this video or any others, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video. And until next time, keep your wheels on the road. See you later.